Well, good morning, everybody. It is Heidi Kaisend at Hen and Chick Studio in Conrad, Iowa. Good morning. I feel like I should say good morning, sunshine, because we don't have any sunshine here. So that's okay, because it's going to keep us a little bit cooler. But where are you watching from? We always love to know who's with us this morning and who is, or where you are and what you're doing. So by all means, get busy in the comments and make sure that you tell us where you're watching from. It is always fun for us to know. If you're seeing us for the first time and you're like, who is this person? I'm Heidi Kaisend. I own Hen and Chick Studio. We're a quilt shop and retreat center in Conrad, Iowa, which is very central Iowa. If you draw a line between Des Moines and Waterloo, we're halfway between, just north of Marshalltown, just off of Highway 14. And so there are lots of opportunities to get to Conrad if you are wanting to come and visit us. But everything in the store is online, and one of the things that video like this does for us is it gives us the opportunity to go international, right? But I love it that we are coast to coast, and I love the thought of spreading creativity from coast to coast, and you are all an important part of that. So thank you very much. We have a lot of exciting things today, and one of the things that we're going to be talking about in a little bit is the conclusion of our 5th annual quilt sale. So hang on, because I've got some exciting news to share with you on that front, and I want to be able to tell you a little bit more about it. But as everybody is getting on and we're getting started this morning, I just want to talk about some of the exciting things that we have going on, because there's always something happening at Hen and Chick Studio. So depending on what your idea of creativity is, or level of creativity, or maybe where you're located, depending on the event, we would love to have you involved. And so the first thing I want to tell you about is our mystery quilt. And it's called the Tranquil Mystery Quilt. And this is all virtual. So you do not need to live in Iowa or near the store to participate. It's a one-time fee of $15.95. When you sign up, you immediately get an email with a supply list. I follow up with another email that has the cutting instructions. And then starting August 25th, every Friday for 7 Fridays, you will get an email from Hen and Chick Studio, and it will have the information in it that you need each week with a different clue to make the quilt that we are doing. And you can go to henandchickstudio.com/mystery quilt and see past mystery quilts that we've done as well. And it's wonderful to see how creative all of you are. And we encourage everyone who's participating to belong to our Facebook creative community and to be able to share the process. Now, I don't know that I've seen anybody's fabric picks yet, but I bet in the next few days we'll start to see what people are doing for the Tranquil Mystery Quilt with their fabrics. So by all means, if you've already signed up for the mystery event and you have picked your fabrics, take a picture, get on over to the creative community and upload it so that we can all go, how's that gonna all look together? Because it can be awfully exciting for that. And good morning, Patty from Southeast Minnesota. Love it. All right, and so anyway, so we've got all sorts of things going on. We've got the Tranquil Mystery. We just ended the All Iowa Shop Hop. We will be having a drawing for prizes. I'm not quite ready for that today because it's just been kind of a wild week. But we are also in the middle of our row by row. So if you have not done the row by row experience, it is a national shop hop. And every shop has a 9 by 36 inch row like the one down in the bottom corner here. And you can stop in and ask for your free pattern. And so by all means, check that out. We have ours over in the case so you can see it and see what that looks like. We also, in September, will be starting the Blockapalooza with 9 other shops. Heritage Designs in Amana, Log Cabin Quilt Shop in Elkhorn, Pieceworks Quilt Shop Winterset, Rainbow and Calico Things Williamsburg, the Iowa Quilt Block West Des Moines, the Little Red Hen Muscatine, the Stitch Jefferson, Tilly's Quilts Fort Dodge, and Wise Monkey Quilting in Denison, and then of course Hen and Chick Studio. And how this is going to work, I love this passport that they've got. It's so colorful and pretty, so we have those ready for you to pick up anytime you're in the store. So if you are local and can come into the store and participate, by all means, stop by and get your passport. And basically, you're going to come in, you're going to get a free pattern for a heart block. And in order to participate, you'll be donating a pieced heart block. So certainly more information about that coming, but excited about the Block-a-Palooza, okay? And then just to save the date, because there's not enough opportunities to go out and have fun at quilt shops, save the date for our donut shop hop. This is the first time ever of doing this. I've always said we are the donut hole in and we have all these great quilt shops around us. So I called those shops in the donut and said, hey, you want to have a donut shop hop? Because November 5th is Donut Day. So more about this, but save the dates, November 3rd through the 5th. That will be a fun event as well. A couple other things that I don't have anything to show, but just to tell you, is that on August 10th, we are doing a long arm class for anyone who has been certified here at Hen and Chick Studio. And so if you've never come back and rented, or you went out and bought your own machine, or maybe you do come back and rent, but whatever case, if you've taken the long arm certification class here at Hen and Chick Studio, you're eligible to attend this class. It's $150. It's August 10th. It's 3 hours. There's one session in the morning, one session in the afternoon. We're bringing in a teacher, Connie Keller, years of experience. You're going to love Connie, and she just will fill that 3 hours with so much information about how to expand your free motion. So very exciting with that. And maybe you are thinking, I've really never quilted before, but I need to learn, or maybe I need to brush up on my skills, or hey, you've got a friend that would love to get into quilting. We have a beginner's class on August 24th, and would love to have that class filled with a maximum of six students, so that we can do lots of hands-on opportunity for teaching. So definitely we have got that going on. And good morning, I see, Annette from Arkansas, and Kathy from Iowa, and Elizabeth from Utah. So good morning to all of you. And everybody hang tight, because the big news of today is going to be about our 5th annual sale, and that's coming up in just a minute. I really don't have any product to show this morning because I simply wanted to focus on what we're doing with this sale and a few of these other things. So it will be a slightly shorter version of our live today. And we've got Texas. I love it. Look how we're really going coast to coast. I love it. So, one of the best things that you can do to help us is to share our posts, whether it's this one or tag your friends, because the more people that find out about us, the more we can inspire them to be creative. Okay, so one way we love to inspire people to be creative is to offer retreat opportunities. Now, this does require you coming to Hen and Chick Studio in Conrad, but oh my gosh, we're 4.5 hours from Kansas City, 3 hours from Omaha, 4 hours from Minneapolis, 5 hours from Chicago, 6 hours from St. Louis. It's a doable drive in the Midwest. Very, very doable drive. So if you do not know that we have a fully equipped retreat center, it's right upstairs. There's actually right above me are 14 twin beds, and then we have workspace for all of those people, plus a full kitchen, bathroom, and all the amenities that you need when you're retreating, right? It's awesome. But we also have public retreats, and that means you can come and join our group and just meet new people, work on your projects. We have both the option of that you can go home and sleep in your own bed if you're close enough, or you can stay overnight. So what I'm going to show you right now are actually just the day fees. This is the cheapest and the most inexpensive way to get into the retreating at Hidden Chick Studio. And once you get in, I'm telling you, you'll be caught the bug. And I bet you'll start retreating with other groups as well. Okay, so we call our public retreat Rule the Roost. And we've got all the dates set for the rest of the year. There are 2 days in August. So what we do is we, I think I went backwards there. All right, it's going to be the 22nd and the 23rd. So August 22nd and 23rd. Those are the 2 days in August. Now, so say, for example, you say, yes, I can come for both days, but I'm going to sleep in my own bed. Then great, you come at 9 on the first morning. Or you can come whatever time, but the doors open at 9. Technically, the doors close at 6. You just get up from your table, walk out, go home, eat your supper, go to bed, and come back the next morning. So super convenient. It allows you to get a lot more done because your stuff is already set up and you're ready to go. You can scrapbook, you can quilt, you can rug hook. We've got beaters, we've got wool applique people, card makers, a lot of different people who come and be creative. Okay, so 2 days in August, 2 days in September, and 2 days in October. Now, if by chance there are days before or after that would be open, and you say, hey, I really want a third day, don't care if there's extra people or not, ask us. If the retreat center is available, you can always rent it yourself for an extra day. There are 2 days at the beginning of November, November 7th and 8th. And then at the end of November, beginning of December, we put 4 days together over a weekend. It has proven to be one of our best public retreats over the years because people are on a mission to get Christmas projects done, and they come totally prepared to do just that, to get stuff done. And so there are, again, these are the day fees only for these public retreats. And then, of course, if you want to stay overnight, we have fees for that. And glad to be able to help you with that as well. And wonderful, I see Lois from Grundy Center, and Marla from Missouri, and Wendy from Marion. Love it. Love, love, love that we have so many of you on this morning. And I hope some of you will be inspired to come and do one of our public retreats with us. Or if you say, you know what, I'd rather get together with my friends that I know, not a problem. We have no limit, no minimum numbers of how many people have to come to the retreat center. So say, for example, it's just you and your best buddy, right? And you say, the two of us just need time away. Call us. Let's find a date. Let's get you on the calendar because that is what the retreat center is meant for. And if you're thinking, well, I could just use a couple days myself, we rent to one person. We love having that space available to do whatever it is that you need to do to move your projects forward, get a little break, rejuvenate, fill your cup, whatever that is. We would love to be able to offer that to you. Okay, so those are sort of my general announcements for today, and except for our big announcement. And if you ever have questions about any of these things that we're talking about, if I went over it too fast, you say, oh, I want to know more about that, you can email us, you can call us. We're here. We love to answer the phone and talk with you, whatever the details are that you need. And so by all means, just reach out to us again on social media, whatever it is. We would love to talk with you and help you however that best looks. All right. Well, and good morning to more of you. Oh, now we've got Colorado. Awesome. Good morning, Andrea. Good morning, Katrina in Cedar Rapids. I love it. Again, I love the fact that we are going coast to coast right from little central Iowa, little Main Street, Conrad. And so we greatly appreciate all of you. Okay, so now this is where I gotta keep my wits about me, right? Because I am so grateful. I am filled with love and gratitude for every one of you. If it wasn't for every person that follows Hen and Chick Studio, likes one of our posts, or comments on something, is live with us right now, if it wasn't for every one of you, we wouldn't reach that coast to coast that I'm talking about. Whether you've ever stepped foot in the store or not. So I've told this story several times, but I'm going to say it again. 5 years ago, when the quilts were stacking up in our house, all the store samples that we had been using were starting to stack up. Virginia said to me, "Mom, how will I know which quilts are important?" And that really hit me, because we do have some quilts that really are important in our house. My grandmother made, I made, that kind of thing. Quilts that they're making. And I thought, why do I have this stack of quilts here? Why am I keeping them in a box when quilts are made to wrap around somebody, to be used, to be loved, to be decorated with, cherished, just all sorts of words that we could put in there. That quilts are important in our lives, and they offer memories for some people, they offer warmth for others, all sorts of things. So 5 years ago, we embarked on a quilt sale, having no idea how this would go. But I made a decision right away that 100% of the price of the quilt, the price that I put on the quilt, would go to the cause that we were offering for that year. And so, it's the usuals. I always say this, we had to deal with the taxes, so you still have to pay the taxes, you still had to pay the shipping to get those quilts to you, that kind of thing, if we needed to. About 100% of the amount would go to the cause. The first year, we chose, we split between our local school and ALS. At that time, I had a staff member who had just lost her husband to ALS. And so we were able to raise just under $4,000 at that point in that first year. We did it during the month of July because that's my birthday, and why not? Kind of feels like a celebration. And it was wonderful. So the next year, we chose a small boy who was and is fighting lymphoma, a form of cancer, and we were able to raise $7,000 for him with the sale of quilts. The next year, the third year, we chose a teacher here in town who has a cancer, and then we split that money. We also, the other half of that went to the Cancer Society, to, I'm trying to think of the name of it. It was a specific branch of women researchers that were doing research for cancer. And we were able to split between the two of them $9,000. And then the fourth year, we have a local friend and student that was fighting cancer as well, and we were able to raise $12,000 for her. And we don't do it for any reason other than to help other people and to make sure those quilts get to somebody who will love them and use them and make them their own, right? Because not everybody quilts, but everybody usually enjoys having a quilt. So this year was extremely hard to think of why we were choosing ALS again. Because when it hits close to home and you see your family suffering from it, it makes it more difficult. And my cousin Anne Her husband was diagnosed last November. And you would think as often as I cry about these things that I would actually not cry. And one moment we have somebody, just a second.
Good morning. Just a question for you. I'm from Eye Care Associates.
Yes.
Did you get a package at all?
No.
That's too bad. All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. That is part of live TV, right? Where we are have things, but maybe I can gain my composure. So thank you for holding on with me. And in November, her husband Jim was diagnosed with ALS. He's 58. He'll be 59 this fall, and it's a horrible disease. If you watch the interview that I did with Eric and John from ALS, it is as simple as that the brain disconnects from the body, and so the body doesn't know what to do because the brain doesn't reach it, and it is just a horrible disease. There are more drugs that are being tested to hopefully keep the longevity of an ALS patient, to increase the length of time that they're alive. But in general, it is a very fast and horrible decline to the patient. And so I knew immediately that I would want to bring our 5th year back to ALS in honor of Jim. And it obviously is an emotional time for them as well. And so they stopped by and we took a picture, so you've maybe seen a picture. I do have a note from them to read here in just a minute. But our friends, our family, my customers, and complete strangers have come out of the woodwork. And I'm very pleased to say that we will be donating $22,000 to ALS, and that will be specifically to the Iowa chapter. We sold nearly 100 quilts, had donations specifically. We've sent quilts to 7 states, and so we have again reached coast to coast, literally California, North Carolina, New York, Michigan. And so I thank you all for helping me not only set a record of 22,000, but that also means we have a 5-year running total of $55,000 that we have been able to pass along to somebody else. And so bear with me, I'm so sorry. I get very emotional about these things. So thank you. Thank you. And I will be working with ALS. You will probably see a live where we actually talk with Eric again and present the check to them at that point for the $22,000. So let's see if I can. And many of you are saying things that I feel very strongly about, and God is good. And I have to tell you that you've heard me say this probably before if you follow along, that every morning I open my Bible, I open words of encouragement, and I always believe that God puts in front of me what I need to hear, whether I want to hear it or not, but to always be there and to lead me in the direction that is His will. And so no surprise that this morning was just another morning of that. When I opened up and it was Psalm 61, and I wrote a couple notes because I knew I would have a hard time, right? And Psalm 61 is a prayer for security and assurance. And part of me is like, that's what we all want. We all want security. We all want assurance about life, right? But we have to trust God to answer our cries for help. It goes something like, hear my cry, listen to my prayer, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. And it basically is saying, in my opinion, is that God's all surrounding strength is always with us. And that word trust is so important. And so I wrote this as just my general thought is, so I am not afraid of what is ahead, because God is holding my hand and leading me to even greater achievements and heights to serve him. And that is a part of what we do in this quilt sale, is that we're trying to help others and trying to serve God in the best way that we know how to do. And I know how to sell quilts. Okay, so I, of course, have reached out to Ann and Jim, and they are aware of all of what is happening. And they sent me this note. We are so thankful and humbled by the outpouring of love and support for everyone who has touched our lives and continues to support us through this journey as we battle ALS. Having a team of caring, supportive friends, family, and acquaintances helps daily. Your generosity is going to help others who are also affected, and for that we continue to be grateful every day. Thank you, and God bless. Ann and Jim. And so with that, I say again, thank you. And I hope that everything that we do here at Hen and Chick Studio inspires you, if nothing else, to have an awesome day and to help other people. So thank you, and be creative.